Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. First official High IQ by Brayden live. That's going to be going on the Brayden Sanford channel anyways. Basically, I had this concept yesterday for a podcast idea. I listen to a lot of podcasts because I do like actually have a job outside of YouTube because I am nowhere near my goals of being a full-time YouTuber just yet, but or streamer, but I do have a day job and I work 12-hour shifts, and the number one way I get through those 12-hour shifts is podcasts. It's music, podcasts, and stand-up comedy. Those are things I always listen to. So for the past year and a half, I've really wanted to start my own podcast and kind of branch out in that aspect. So I've been coming up with different ideas and different things I should be doing or I could be doing as part of this podcast. And I came up with a concept like last night or something, where basically me and whoever I'm with, or just like if I do have people on the show, I might get a co-host at some point. I don't know, just appear here and there, where we just get stoned out of your mind and just ramble. It's kind of like Joe Rogan Experience, except for it's based around getting high. Is the whole concept of this. Now, I should say this to be clear, like right off the bat. I am turning 21 at the end of August, and I do live in Canada. So the legal drinking and smoking age in Canada is 19, so I am old enough to do this. And it's also legal country-wide in Canada. So this is completely legal. It'd be the same thing if I had like Drinking Buddies podcast or some shit and just did every podcast drunk. But I feel like a lot of people's funniest ideas are just funny moments and good concepts and just rambling. The shit you think about when you smoke weed is great. So that's basically what this whole podcast is going to be based around. It's just going to be me sitting here smoking a little bit and talking. Just talking to anybody. Talking about current news. We could figure out what's going on in the world today, bro. Like you just go up and click on the world news. What's going on? Will Smith, Dwayne Johnson, Justin Timberlake, and more react to Jamie Foxx speaking out after a medical emergency. Oh, that happened a while ago. While ago. Barbie is making history. As the year's most anticipated tandem of film releases, Barbie and Oppenheimer hit movie theaters this weekend. The Greta Gerwig directed film came out on top, scoring $155 million on its opening run, and marking the biggest debut ever film directed by a woman. That's actually crazy, though. I seen this thing. I feel like the promotion for the Barbie movie was just through the roof, because I seen the ads all over the place, and even I looked intrigued to see it. But like, it's also memes. Like, social media can do so much crazy shit for movies like this that it just doesn't need commercials anymore. They used to, like, back in the early 2000s, they had, like, commercials that go, like, this fall, come catch the biggest movie. Now there's people that make memes out of it. So they had the Barbie movie coming out, which is like already a ridiculous concept of an idea for a movie. Like, no one really thought of that with like a live action with like real people, but they have a star-studded cast first off, which people are going to want to see, and then people turn it into memes. It's like Barbieheimer and everything like that, which makes it a bigger deal. And I did see that the guy in Oppenheimer, whatever the guy's name, I don't know, he's in Peaky Blinders too. That's the other show he's in, and he was talking about how much he loved it. He's seen all the memes and stuff like that. He said it's nothing greater for like show business, which it does make sense. Like he goes, it's just a whole day in the theaters. Who wouldn't love that? But I did see that Barbie is beating Oppenheimer for opening weekend. I feel like that says a little bit about our attention spans and our intelligence, because people probably decided to go watch Barbie because they didn't want to learn anything, and because Oppenheimer is also 3 hours long. I actually do want to see Oppenheimer. It looks like a cool movie that I just haven't gotten around to doing it. We can keep talking, keep looking around. Anything in sports news? Sports. Let's see what's new in sports. We could talk sports. I know the Women's World Cup is going on. Eric Carlson dangles a Maple Leaf steal. Ilya Samsonov's contract. Ooh. It, I don't think Toronto's dumb enough to trade for Ilya Samsonov. I mean, they have had goalie troubles here and there. Like, Ilya Samsonov's doing all right with Toronto, anyways. But the problem isn't the players. They've had such great, such great players for so long. They just can't do anything with it, and it's sad. I was saying to my mom when I was watching the playoffs this year, because I mean, I am a diehard Montreal Canadiens fan, diehard Habs fan. So the only team I watch year round is Montreal, and except for the playoffs, I'll watch all the games just because it's always interesting to see the build up. You might see something cool here and there, but I said to her that, in my opinion, Toronto is the biggest loser of a franchise. And I can explain why. And this is basically like, it's not just because I'm a Habs fan. I think they're the biggest loser of a franchise in the NHL. And that is strictly because they haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1967. A long, long fucking drought. They also haven't made it past the second round. And this was, granted, I said this before they made it past the second round this year, but they still got booted out, damn near swept in the second. But still, I said they haven't made it past the first round in like 19 years. And they've had the lineups to do it. It's just they're wasting half of their like team salary on 4 players, and nothing has been happening for them. They haven't done anything, and then they finally do it. And Toronto fans are the most annoying too. Like, they're the most cockiest out there. And you could say what you want about how much Montreal was bad this year and how bad of a fall off they had since 2021 season, which is, as a Habs fan, it pains me to watch, But like when I hear people talk about Toronto being better and everything, it just really pisses me off because they haven't done anything. Montreal versus Toronto debate. Montreal and Toronto, like, I think it was, I don't know if it's a new tradition or they've always just tried to make it work this way, but for over the past 5 years, Montreal and Toronto, their opening nights have always been against each other, and Montreal is winning that battle 3 games to 5, or 3 games out of the 5. So 3 games to 2 against Toronto over the past 5 years of battling each other on opening night. Montreal made it to the Stanley Cup Finals more recently than Toronto. They made it past the second round more recently than Toronto. They've doubled down on how many times, probably like 4 times more, 5 times more. They made it to the second round since Toronto's done it. I mean, not counting this year, but who gives a crap about this year? Toronto damn near got reverse swept the second round after just killing that long drought, getting those fans' hope up for the one time in their lives, and you come out with such a bullshit second round like that, bro. And it's painful to see. I felt so bad for Toronto fans. I'm not gonna lie. It's the first time I felt bad for Toronto fans. Oh, it's brutal, man. Brutal. Montreal Canadiens are undeniably better salary cap shape than it looks at first glance. Yeah, that's our only problem with our contract. Our contract is great. Montreal has a great game plan where it's like Nick Suzuki's our captain, so he's going to make the most money. And if they can sign Nick Suzuki, who's our point leader and our captain, for under $8 million, they like our GM Ken Hughes basically said, no one's going above Nick Suzuki in that aspect. If you want to get paid more than Nick Suzuki, it is not going to happen because Nick Suzuki is like our number one guy. So if you want to sign with us, it's got to be less than what Nick Suzuki's worth, and that's how they've kept a good budget under the salary cap. The only person I think making more is Carey Price, and that's because he has a certain amount of years left on his contract. But I hope that ends soon. And if he doesn't start playing, I hope we just get rid of him because that's a lot of money we're wasting right now just on Carey Price, and he's only played a little bit recently. And I love Carey Price too. I wish he would come back. I think Carey Price's game plan right now is just because he's done everything else there is to do. All he has to do is win a cup. He's made it to the Cup Finals, made it to the Conference Finals. He's a Vezina Trophy winner, a veteran. Definitely he's definitely on the verge of going into the Hall of Fame. You could say he would go in the Hall of Fame. Not a lot of goalies make it, so you could say he would go in the Hall of Fame. But people would also make the argument he also never won a cup. But you got to see the teams he was working with for a lot of years. Carey Price put that team on his back for damn near a decade. And so he deserves the cup. So what I think he's doing now is he basically just keeps going on IR or something, just letting his contract run. And he's just going on IR on and off and shit. So he starts the season on IR. So he doesn't play with Montreal all the way all the way through the first half of the season, and then he sees how Montreal's doing. If there's hope that Montreal can make the playoffs, that's when he joins. Because all he wants to do, he just wants to play enough of the regular season to get his name on the cup and then help them win the cup in the playoffs. That's all he's trying to do. And that's the only reason I think Montreal made it so far in 2021. It's because Carey wanted that cup so bad, but it never worked out for him, which is a shame. Because Tampa Bay was a bunch of cheaters. I'm bitter. Sound bitter when I say that. Look it through. I go to Instagram, see what's popping on Instagram. No. I'm trying to find anything interesting to talk about, but I think this concept of an idea would be a whole lot better if there was more than me, because right now it's hard to keep a conversation going when it's just you. But you can make it happen, or if there was a chat, this would be a whole lot better. But yeah, this could also just be an intro episode. I know I'm live right now, but I could just use this clip as an intro and then skip it on to whatever we could start with on the live. Just kind of shrink down this webcam. Like I said before too, with the stream and stuff, this camera quality is going to get a whole lot better. I know it's pretty bad because I'm using a Logitech camera, but all I'm going to really do is just get an Elgato sort of deal, Stream Link, I think is what they're called, and you can connect HDMI cable from your PC to your camera, so that way I can use my actual camera. Because like, look at this. This is way better than that fucking webcam that says it records in 1080p, but I don't believe it does. Anything is going to be recorded on this, preferably. So it feels like such a waste to have this cool ass camera and everything all ready for it if I'm not even going to use it. But I really do want to use it. I just need to get the Stream Link set up. Right now I got to use this webcam, but it's good for the streaming right now. I think the key to YouTube right now is just the shorts. People have such short attention spans, bro. Such short attention spans. I mean, I could scroll through shorts. That's why TikTok's booming. TikTok's booming, and you know what they can get away with is not paying their influencers a lot of money, because they know it's like, well, it doesn't require a lot of effort. It's only like a 10-second video. Those YouTubers that make all that money deserve that money, because they have to put so much work and effort into their editing and their process and making the YouTube videos. So whenever they do shorts or TikToks and everything like that, they can kind of get away with it. But YouTube still just joined the game of like shorts. There's like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and stuff like that. But YouTube Shorts just kind of joined the game and just started monetizing those types of videos, right? I just seen, like, it was only like a couple months ago they started doing that, and they agreed to give the prize pool or the money pool of whatever the views are that the YouTube Shorts gets. They give the creator 45%, which is actually really good, because I think when it comes to actual videos, like actual AdSense on videos, I think regular videos you get 60%. I can't remember, it's been a long time since I read that, but 45% is actually not bad for shorts. So it's basically worked out to, like, it's just a little bit under half of what you, like, if you did a regular, let's say 10-minute long video on YouTube, no mid-roll ads, so no ads in the middle of the video, just one regular video on YouTube, one ad, and you get 500,000 views, or 1 million views. Let's just say 1 million. That's like how much would that be? Because I seen like 50,000 views is about $100. So if you did 1 million, that's $2,000. So yeah, $2,000. And then if you were to do like I read off the AdSense thing. I read off the AdSense thing, like from the AdSense website on Google. It said that YouTube Shorts is paying roughly $1,000 for 1 million views. So they basically just cut it in half is all they did when it comes to how much they're going to pay you out for shorts, which is reasonable. I mean, I've only done 3 shorts so far, and I have like almost 1,000 views off shorts. shorts is the way to go because people will just scroll through it. People just scroll through it with their small ass attention span because they just love scrolling through shorts, and you can always get them on repeat. People will just repeat those shorts. They'll just repeat. Sometimes if they're just sitting there on their phone and they set their phone down for a quick sec, it'll repeat a couple times, and those views will add up. That's why people get so big off shorts, and then they end up making more YouTube shorts than they do videos. They'll make a big video here and there, so that way they can throw the mid-roll ads in, get a quick money grab if they need to, or if they have a sponsor and a brand deal and it works well with the video they're trying to work out. But YouTube shorts is the way to go, because that's why TikTok's booming. That's why TikTok's doing so well. TikTok's just not compensating their creators fairly for how well it's doing, to be quite honest with you. I think YouTube's probably one of the fairest ones out there when it comes to that type of stuff. But yeah, I think shorts are the way to go. I'm going to take a lot of these clips off this podcast and off these streams and just post them on YouTube Shorts along with videos, so that way you usually get like a little preview of the video that's about to come out. You get a little comedy sketch, a little something part of it that's going to be funny, and then you're going to get the actual video a couple hours later after I'm done editing it and shaving down the process. So, but yeah, I think YouTube Shorts is a genius idea if you're really trying to market yourself out there. And what I do is what I see a lot of people do is when they upload that YouTube short, whatever's in the video, you just hashtag it, put it in the description, put it in the captions, whatever. Like if I do like I did one that was like real or cake, you got to do it. And if you don't get it right, you fall back. I fall back out of my chair, like go all the way back like that. And if I get majority wrong, I have to do that. And if I get majority right, then I win. And it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So, and that one did pretty well. And when I did it, it was like a little mini reaction, and you just cut it down even after that, because people have that quick attention span. They like to be on point, get to the point. That's what Mr. Beast videos have taught anybody, is that Mr. Beast has done podcasts that I've studied, like about him talking about how he edits his videos and how he shortens them down to make them to get his video retention span the longest. And if you want anywhere where you can get video retention span, it would be on a YouTube short. So you just kind of edit it down and make it work for you, and it works out in the long run. So you do that, and then whatever's in the video, like the real or the cake, I did hashtag real or cake, hashtag reaction, hashtag cake, hashtag everything. And you hashtag everything that's in the video, and then that way it reaches a bigger audience, because you got those, like if you were to go on Instagram or something like that and you just go to the search bar and search up reaction, the first thing that's going to pop up is all the videos with the description and the captions that have hashtag reaction in it. And what's that going to do is branch out to another audience. Because if you just get someone who's scrolling through shorts, which a lot of people are doing, if someone comes across like they love the real or cake videos, that's going to pop up on the recommended, and then my face is on the recommended, and it spreads out. That's why shorts are spreading so much faster, and why you see so many people. Like if you see people that spend a lot of time working on their shorts, and if you click on their channel, they have like 1.15 million followers or million subscribers, and their shorts have incredible views. But if you go to their videos, they get like 30,000 views a video. You're like, oh, it's because they grinded all their time into their shorts. And it's the new wave, bro. It's like old school Vine. It's like bringing Vine back. That's why people have been falling in love with it. The short attention span is just quick, snappy, to the point. That's what I've been planning on doing, and that's probably what I am going to plan on doing, because it's been a long time since I've really uploaded a lot of videos or really taken anything into consideration. There's always a lot of studying to do. Times are always changing. That's why it's hard with YouTube. You got to always be keeping up, bro. You got to always be grinding it out, always be keeping it up. I guess that's the same thing with everything in life. As soon as you take a step back from it and try and jump back into it, it's like Kevin Hart said this, like on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. I watch that show a lot. Jerry Seinfeld, and it was the Kevin Hart episode. He was talking about Eddie Murphy, and if you don't know who Eddie Murphy is, you should, because he probably would have been a lot in your childhood. Donkey from Shrek, Daddy Daycare. He was the black one. But if you just you should know him from that. But a lot of people don't know is that he was such a phenomenal stand-up comedian in like the 80s, early to late 80s. And like my parents introduced me to his stand-up. I didn't even know he did stand-up. I knew him from these kids movies, because that's what he moved on to. His stand-up is so different from that. And like and his stand-up was so phenomenal. He did 2 stand-up specials. Last one was in 1987 called Raw, and he just disappeared. He stopped doing stand-up altogether. And Kevin Hart was saying, like, he was out to dinner with Eddie Murphy and stuff like that, and he was saying, like, and Eddie is still incredibly funny. He's so funny. He's so quick. He's witty. So I say to him, like, Eddie, why don't you get back into doing stand-up, or why don't you do stand-up again? He goes, it's just like a cold tub of water. It's kind of, I'm going to butcher the quote, but it's something like, it's like a cold tub of water. Like, when I stepped away from it, it was so hot that when I go back in, it's going to be cold, and I'm scared of the coldness again, or something like that, or scared of how cold it's going to be this time. So that's like the whole thing of it is anything in life you really are passionate about, or anything in life that you do, you got to keep it going. Unless, if the only reason you're going to quit, it better be for good. Because if you take like a long break from it, take hiatuses like I did, it's really tough to get back into the rhythm of shit. This has been like the weirdest week. I'm ready to give it another shot. I love the podcast idea too. I think I'm going to get next one on. Next time I do one, this is just kind of like a opener. I don't even know how long this one is going to be. I'm surprised we even gone on for 20 minutes. But maybe this one's only going to be like a half hour, 45. The next one, when I get a guest on or get someone like that on we can talk to, it would be a whole lot funnier. We could do like a good 2-hour sesh or something like that. Break one out. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the podcast in the comment section, because if anyone's going to see this be on my main channel, no one's live. Yeah. We keep trying to look for the news. Gaming news. We can look up gaming news. Grand Theft Auto 6 is poised to break huge Rockstar tradition. Ooh, this looks like a good one. Anyone excited for GTA 6? I am hyped for it. It's been so long. We need a new GTA, bro. I will grind this out on YouTube by myself, whatever, wherever. I just really want it. Rockstar Games is known for its single-player games. It has dabbled in the co-op a few times, but no one would think of Rockstar Games as traditional co-op games. It is believed that Grand Theft Auto will feature 2 protagonists influenced by Bonnie and Clyde. Wow. Necessitating the need for the main story with traditional co-op missions. If implemented, GTA 6's co-op mode would need to be more sustainable than the company's smaller attempts, featuring meaningful gameplay and storytelling for both characters. If done well, Rockstar could step away from its single-player legacy for a moment and leave its mark on the co-op world. That's actually a smart idea. I would play that. Could you, how many times when Grand Theft Auto in 2013 to 2015 was the biggest game in the world, and you were like, I wish this was 2-player, so that way when my friend comes over, you could plug in Grand Theft Auto, because you would have that moment where you're like, you play Grand Theft Auto all the time. 2013 to 2015, you just grind it out playing it and online shit, and you could play with your friends online. But if you're just playing story mode, like you're grinding out the story mode, and your friend comes over and you're like, oh, you want to go play video games? You got to take out GTA and just stare at it like, I want to play you so bad, but I can't, and you're not 2-player. If you could do like a co-op missions and grind it out co-op style, that'd be cool. But if you have no friends, are they suggesting like you just pick one character to play as, and the other one's like just... And the other one's just kind of like a... What's the word? Just kind of like a NPC? Or like a computer player type of deal? I'm not sure. That's pretty cool. I heard some rumors about where Grand Theft Auto is going to be. Like, Grand Theft Auto is going to be the first one outside of America, or maybe if it wasn't... maybe there was ones outside of America, but I don't think so. Like, I think GTA 4 was New York, LA was GTA 5, and stuff like that. But I think the next one was like rumored to be GTA 6, like England or some shit like that. Bunch of shankings, yeah. Bunch of shankings. Inspired by Bonnie and Clyde. That's a rare one. That's a rare one. That's a weird one. I've never actually seen Bonnie and Clyde, but I understand like the basic story around it. Would Maple Leafs let Nylander walk after his contract expires? I seen William Nylander. I think his contract expires this year, so they're debating on whether they're going to trade him or not, because he's probably asking for money that Toronto doesn't have at the moment, bro. That Toronto just doesn't have, because they have been dumping money into Austin Matthews like crazy and Mitch Marner. But I think Nylander's contract ends this year unless he's willing to drop down. Montreal can't get him, but I would actually love to have William Nylander on our team. My mom's not the biggest fan of him. I don't know. She just doesn't like the way he looks. She says he looks like a prick, but you can't deny his talent. His talent is unreal. So William Nylander has every reason to ask for the moon, and the Maple Leafs have almost as many reasons not to overpay. Yet another one of their upper upper echelon player. I don't know. I'm stupid and high. Which is why Nylander negotiations are probably the most complex and challenging of the Toronto hockey summer. At just under $7 million a season, the only great contract Kyle Dubas signed as Leafs general manager, Nylander produced well beyond his salary the past 2 seasons. Really, he has the only bargain contact-wise in the entire Leafs lineup, while ranking just 19th in ice time among right wingers in the National Hockey League last season and 62nd among forwards overall. Nylander finished 4th in goals at right wing, 5th in points, and 3rd in even strength goals. The ratio of goals and points, is that just for right wing players or for everybody? Because if it's just for right wings players, yeah, Toronto was on the top of their game last year. He should have stepped it up low key, just a little bit. The ratio of goals and points scored to minutes played places him in an elite position among the most productive forwards in hockey. But the Leafs can't afford to pay him $9 or $10 million. If that's what he's asking, Montreal can't either. We will refuse, bro. We will refuse. Montreal ain't paying stuff like that, man. What do you think? You think we crazy? Think we crazy, bro? I want to see what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Call of Duty's situation right now, because I have taken a pretty long break from Call of Duty. I played like a little bit last night, but I haven't played in a long time because the whole Call of Duty situation that's been going around and how people have been hating their games to such a degree recently. I didn't mind Warzone 2. I didn't mind the switch. That wasn't a big deal for me, having to switch from Warzone 1 to Warzone 2. I was a little bit pissed off there's no more Rebirth, because I loved Rebirth, like the original, and I love the original movement. The only point where I started to get pissed was when they said that they were deleting Warzone 1 forever, which is frustrating, because some people do prefer the movement in Warzone 1. I know I do, but it's not worth it for me to play Caldera. I enjoy Warzone 2 just as much, or at least I did. And they're getting rid of it, and people are like, are you going to refund us for all the bundles and money we wasted? No, you're just going to take the game from us, but you're not going to refund us all the bundles and stuff and all the money we spent on your fucking game. And they're like, well, and their rebuttal is, well, you can still use it in multiplayer, but we don't give a fuck. We don't care. We did not get these bundles to use them in multiplayer. No one's on multiplayer flexing their guns and their bundles. It's pay to win for Warzone. No one gives a crap about multiplayer. Over half the reason people play multiplayer is just to level up their guns. It's the only reason they do it now, because everyone is preferring to play Warzone, because everyone loves a good battle royale game. You know, multiplayer games are still fun to play here and there, good for practice, but they're over with, bro. They're over with. People just use them to level up their guns. You guys nailed the gopher on the head with a fucking hammer once you decided to do Battle Royale, because you've been killing it. But to get rid of the OG Warzone Rebirth, no chance of it coming back, getting rid of everyone's bundles. I had the Ghostface bundle, the Snoop Dogg bundle, I had Plague Diamond on all my guns, all that work I put into your fucking game to just take it away from me and force me to work with Warzone 2. And not just that, you decided to make Warzone 2 to make it a more realistic game, so you couldn't slide cancel all over the place, get done out by movement kings. You made it to be slower paced for fucking grandfathers. You made it to be slower paced so people can't play as competitively, which just caused more camping at the end of the day, which was a pain in the ass. It just caused more camping. These guns usually have I think they have a higher TTK in Warzone 2, but you can't move as fast in Warzone 2. And not just that, you did it to be more realistic. Now you're not even being realistic, because you have superheroes added to the game. You put superheroes into the game. and you get like a stim shot or something. You stab yourself with a needle, and all of a sudden you can shoot up and do laser eyes and laser someone. Like, is this fucking Fortnite? What the hell? It's stupid. I mean, I lost a lot of respect for Call of Duty as a franchise. I was still playing it, but when they kicked Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman off, that was ridiculous. Because I agree with Nick Merckx on what he said. It was 100% in the right of what he said. I mean, I'm not going to bring up the whole story here because you guys have probably heard about it. If you haven't, you can go look it up. It's really easy. You just look up like Nick Merckx Call of Duty controversy or something like that, and it'll explain the whole story there. And then Tim the Tatman being such an awesome friend. I got Tim the Tatman's bundle. I got a rare bundle because I got the Tim the Tatman bundle before they removed it from the store, like 5 days after they put it up. Tim the Tatman said, I don't want mine in the store if Nick's isn't in the store. And they, instead of just being like, you know what, the way you two come together, I appreciate that, and support Nick, at least support Tim and support Nick at the same time, boot Tim off too. And Tim did nothing wrong. And the community was pissed about it. A lot of people stopped playing Call of Duty, and now they're going for, like, they're adding the next celebrity bundles in there, and it's fucking superheroes. And now when they post, like, their memes or this crappy stuff on their Instagram pages, you always see people in the comments like, your game sucks now. What did you do? Why are you ignoring the community? It's like, you make this game for the community, but you're ignoring what the community wants. You are ignoring it altogether. Why? This game sucks now. This game sucks dog dicks now. Why are you even doing it? You put superheroes in a game that's supposed to be a little bit more realistic. It's stupid, and it makes sense. That's why people hate it. And so I've only played a little bit of multiplayer last night because it doesn't have that stupid laser eyes and superhero crap, and played a little bit of multiplayer. But I haven't played at like Rebirth in a while. But I don't know. I think I'm going to try and give it a break for a second. I'm really waiting on X Defiant to come out. That game that's supposed to be the new COD killer coming out at the end of the summer. I have a feeling that that's going to actually end COD because COD's digging a hole for themselves and just jumping in it. And then they're looking up at X Defiant holding the shovel, trusting them not to bury them fools. But they are going to bury them fools because X Defiant looks like it's like a mixture between Call of Duty but the arcadey, but like the perfect mixture. It's not like superheroes. It's not like Hulk and Superman. It's not like the Avengers of that playing Call of Duty or something like that. It's not something stupid like that. It's something like it's like Black Ops 3 multiplayer kind of. If it looks like if you remember what that looks like, it's just like Warzone 1 movement with the Black Ops 3 visuals. It looks sick, and I can't wait to. It said it was coming out like end of August. I think their open beta that they had was closed. I tried to play it and I couldn't get to it, but they said that they're planning on releasing it end of August. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm gonna get a lot of videos out playing X Defiant, maybe on the stream and stuff. But it looks like a really fun game. I'm out of breath. I'm talking so much. Oh, this is too boring. I know the retention span is probably like nobody watching anymore, but unless you like podcasts, maybe you plug this in at work or something. If you're a fellow worker, I applaud you. Like, I know what it's like. Like, I don't do this full time because I financially can't. Even though I'd love to, I can't do it full time just at the moment. That's what I'm shooting towards. That's why I'm grinding out this time, because that's what I'm shooting towards, is being able to do this full time. That'd be a blessing, and I'm never gonna get there. Or even if any of you wanted to do this full time, but you like, oh, I just kind of want to fall into the comfortable work position where you just climb the corporate ladder. I mean, sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes what you want isn't easy, you know. I know this isn't easy. I just got off like working 4 days, 4 nights, or 2 days, 2 nights, 4 days on, 4 days off. That's how my schedule works, which is a pretty freeing schedule to help me do YouTube. I will admit that, but you got to work 2 days, 2 nights, 12-hour shifts at a labor-inducing job, 40-degree factory. It pays well, so I'm like considered like middle class type of deal. So I'm able to afford the equipment I need, which I know is a blessing for myself because not a lot of people can. But with this sort of grinding, just the shit's not easy at the end of the day. Like to work all these 4 days, you just kind of want to go home and lay down. But I know like if I don't want to go to work ever again or go to that job ever again, and I'd rather do this, which to me isn't work. This is just fun. That's why I'm able to do it. Because I treat it like a hobby, and just if I'm like, I don't ever want to have to go to that job again, then I can do this. So it just forces me to get up, because it's like, yeah, it's like 11 o'clock right now. I'm pretty high. I would have just loved to go to bed. I feel like a lot of people can agree with me on that. I would have just loved to go to bed, but I knew that, like, oh, there's more content to make. There's more stuff to do. There's more stuff I can do. You know, I want to make this. I'm trying to make this happen. So I'm gonna try and go up with these concepts, these different ideas, all this stuff I wanted to do for so long that I was always really scared to act on. I'm just acting on it. I don't give a crap anymore. I'm acting on it, and hopefully something will stick to the wall. Doing the YouTube shorts, doing a podcast now, hopefully finding some other people to join. I'm throwing everything at the wall and hoping shit sticks, you know, making different video concepts and ideas, because I just love doing it all. I love the process of editing a video, getting the thumbnail perfect. I love the whole process. So that's why I'm like, I have to work for this to get what I want. Nothing in life is just handed. If anything in your life is handed, then you're not going to know the true, like, appreciation in life. And I feel bad for people. I feel bad for people that get everything handed, to be quite honest with you, because they're never going to know, like, what true pride is, because everything was just handed to them. I love the podcast, though. I love the vibe of this podcast. A little bit funny, a little bit of educational purposes, and a little bit inspirational. It's exactly the vibe we're looking for. This is right where we want to be. I think I'm going to stop at about the 45-minute mark and just do this as like the opening segment kind of deal. Opening intro. If anyone's still listening to this podcast in some sort of way, I like, subscribe, you know. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate it greatly if you would. We're going to get a new camera and new setups once we get the stream link for the camera all set up, and it's going to look 10 times better. It's going to look really clean shots. Subscribe to the stream channel, Brayden Live. Its link's always in the description. I know, or if you're watching this on the stream channel, just subscribe to the channel if it's Brayden Live. If you catch this on the main channel, Brayden Sanford, link in the description, Brayden Live, subscribe to that channel, and you can watch these podcasts live, comment your own stuff, and I'll just add on. You could be my co-hosts. I would love for all y'all to be my co-hosts. I think the reason why this has not been working out so well is because there's no one else there. No one in the chat, bro. Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it. I think that'll do it for this one.